So yeah, welcome back to another Gundam game, the last of the blog. And I want to thank you guys as well for like donating for the last game. I didn't do that before, but there was an incentive run we did before. So yeah, thank you guys very much. I really appreciate the generosity. All right, so yeah, this is Rengou vs. Z.A.F.T 2 Plus. It is actually an adaptation of an arcade game that came out in I think 2003, I want to say, and it has like a lot of additions. It has like a story, kind of a story mode and all that stuff. But we are playing arcade on the hardest difficulty, as you can see, hardest difficulty, highest damage output, and maximum stats. So what that means will be shown in a run pretty shortly, but this is the fastest way to beat arcade mode, and it's really broken. We will be abusing the beam rifle a lot. So that was the wrong mode. Sorry, my Japanese is really awful. Sometimes I have to like figure out what I have to press. Alright, we're going to play Route A. As you can see, we have Route A to I, and Route A is like the one I'm most, I know the most spawning points and all that stuff. We are also going to pick one of my favorite units, which is Buster Gundam. Let me see, oh, there he is. Buster Gundam is a really good unit, but compared to the last game I did, where we only did like melee attacks, we are going to abuse his firing power. So also it's the fastest to take a nameless pilot here. It just saves a couple of frames every time you start a stage, and I think it saves like 2 seconds in the beginning. Alright, so I'm ready to go if you are. Give him a little smiley face. Alright. So I would say 3, 2, 1. Let's do this. Okay, so first thing first, we start the stage with selecting a power up. This is our Seed Awakening power. Like in the GBA game, it's like a special ability which makes us stronger. So we have Speed, Rush, and Power. We are going to abuse Rush in this run. So what Rush does is basically giving me huge reloading times, faster shots, and basically infinite supply of ammo, which is like incredibly broken, and you'll see why in a second. So I can like go around now, because we are playing maximum stats. So I can go around now, just fly around and shoot the living crap out of these guys. I probably should mention, like, if their target turns into orange, it basically means they are invulnerable for a couple of seconds, and we cannot shoot them at that time. So I will try to like change targets whenever I can. Alright, it was a 43, that's pretty good. So yeah, what the others other abilities do, Speed is basically makes you really fast, and gives you a slight like attack speed increase, which is also like in competitive play, I would say it's the most broken. Speedrunning wise, it's not that interesting. Because you want to, like, on very hard, you want to avoid melee combat as much as possible. Because this game is, like, pretty unforgiving. It doesn't look like that, but in the later stages, it can get, like, really hard. And it's the same system as the last game, so we have the little health bar on the top left. And once that health bar is going down, we lose all window stage. The red one is the one for the enemies, and the blue one is ours. And in this game, your partner unit can actually screw you over. I have lost runs to partners dying consistently, and then I like took a death myself, and then the run was over. And that was like PB pace runs, or world record pace runs sometimes. Yeah, the movement in this game is much harder than you think of it. You will always, like the target you have focused, you will always like fly towards that target. So what you want to do is, if you like go around these targets, you want to have the closest to you always on lock. So you will like fly around them consistently. So if you're shooting one guy, then you switch to another target, and then you want to like go in like a wave shape around them. Also, this is a target stage, so we only have to kill that one guy, and then it's stage over. It's the same concept as the last one. Oh my god. What I also should mention, if I don't die in the stage, there is a good way that I get a seed badge, or a so-called seed badge. What that means is, I played like so good that I get a harder version of the next stage, which is really annoying. I haven't like really tested it, but I believe taking intentional deaths during a run can actually speed up the whole run, because you don't get like a special stage where the enemies are harder or not. That's something I like recently learned. And I've been playing this game for over 10 years, casually and with friends. And I have not known that you have these kind of special stages. I always thought it was RNG, but it appears you have to have like a specific amount of points at the end of the stage. Then you get this little badge, and if you get this badge, the next stage will be harder. So I will try to take an intentional death on stage 5, so the stage after this, and try to avoid an encounter I really don't want to have, which is Destroy Gundam. For those who don't know anything about Gundam, Destroy Gundam is like a huge unit, and he can fucking one-shot you. Oh, excuse my language. I'm so used to saying words like that, so yeah. So yeah, he can one-shot you with basically any of his attacks. And since we are playing with maximum damage output, so not only I do more damage, but the opponents do more damage as well. It just, makes the process a little bit faster. Normally you wouldn't kill enemies that fast, so fights actually last a lot longer normally. Like when you play with some friends or like for yourself, on like the normal settings, I would say, fights can take around, I don't know, maybe 3-4 minutes or so, depending if you have infinite time enabled. Fights can last a lot longer than this. Also, this is the first Gundam where they actually introduced a little bit of more fast-paced fighting style. So every Gundam that came after this had like this a little bit more like fast style of gameplay. The combos were added. So every newer Gundam game has adapted to this style. Yeah, a teammate actually doing something. That's a rare case. Like, it does not happen a lot. Alright, so I will try to take an intentional death here. I cannot promise it. But I should be careful as well. Like in the other game, this you have like this cost system. It's a little bit more complex in this game. So you basically have like 1,000 total points, and my unit's cost is actually I think 430. So the numbers are a little bit weird. Okay, it actually takes a little bit too long for my taste to die now. So I will just play it intentionally. So I guess you can see Destroy Gundam then and its power. But the next fight is going to wreck me eventually. Because Destroy Gundam has a shield. You cannot see it when he activates it, but you are screwed. And the shield basically prevents range damage from happening. Which is really bad. You don't want to have that when you have a ranged unit. That's like... It can be. Like the world record run for for the hardest difficulty in this route, which I did, was a really good run using Buster, and I got so lucky that he didn't activate his shield once. That is I don't know, once in a lifetime thing that happened. I've played this game a lot over the past months and like especially years, but over the past month, and this was the first time I've ever seen it happening. That he didn't activate his shield and he didn't go invulnerable for like, I don't know, 30 seconds, and you couldn't do anything with his unit. Because I have like a really bad melee attack and it does 0 damage. So waiting is sometimes faster, or like you can give your partner unit a command so that he like does some stuff that you want him to do, but normally you you don't want to have your partner do anything. Okay, so I will charge out my attack, and yeah, this bad boy over here, that's Destroy Gundam, and it can happen that you will see his attacks pop up left and right, or like slides and crushes into you, taking away half of your health. Oh yeah, I should mention like the number on the bottom left is, oh, as you can see, he has his shield activated. I'm doing like 0 damage right now. That's really bad left. Yeah, so on the bottom left, the number is my health. Rush is basically the power up I'm using. As I stated before, this is the maximum stats category, just because it's faster and it's a little bit more broken. Alright. Actually, he's not too bad considering he didn't do damage. Oh, now he activated his special power up, which is also Rush. So yeah, he can like do infinite attacks right now as well. And that's really bad. Yeah, as you can see, he is dealing a huge amount of damage. It's really bad. And like you can avoid this encounter by taking an intentional death at the stage before, but I got like really unlucky, and well, that was really slow. I got like really unlucky on the last stage, so yeah, it was just a little bit faster to encounter him. Alright, that's 114. That's really slow. I think I had 87. No, 78 on this in my PB, which is like incredibly fast. So yeah, normally fights take around 60 seconds to, I don't know, 1.5 minutes. It really depends on how lucky you get, what your partner is doing, if you're going to die, stuff like that. Also, I will try to like speed this up a little bit and using my charge beam. Charge beam is really good. It deals a lot of damage, but you are like very vulnerable. That is because you cannot move until... Oh my god. You cannot move until 3 seconds after? No, 2 seconds after the attack is done. So yeah, you're pretty much screwed on. This is really bad. And sometimes you see me like stop and change directions. This is all intentional, just to lure those enemies a little bit out of the way. It can mean some trouble for me though. Sometimes like they don't want to cooperate. And yeah, that's where the movement tricks in this game come in handy. It's really, it's a lot more difficult than you think. It basically looks like I'm flying around stupidly, but it has actual tech involved. I don't want to take a step here. That's fine. Yeah, as I said, like, it's basically beam abusage. It's not that fun gameplay compared to other Gundam games. If you use another unit, gameplay can look a lot different, but I prefer Buster Gundam because he's incredibly powerful. There is an actual chart on a game FAQs. It's really good. Like, it has basically every damage value in the game in it, and I looked it up, I looked it through and tested a couple of things, and it seems like Buster is, like, at least for some routes, is actually the fastest if you can get lucky. Because he has, like, a slight advantage because he has, like, no melee attack at all. Okay, so I wanna... Yeah, that's perfect. That was a good dodge. That was not a good dodge, but anyway. Yeah, sometimes, like, you can get lucky and then you get around an enemy and they miss the attack and then you just run into an enemy at the same time. So that's why positioning is so important, and that makes movement a little bit harder. So you want to have those two units you're fighting as close to each other and at all times, so you can basically, like, circle around them. Yeah, if you can circle around them and are not in the middle of a fight, you have more chances to survive. Oh my god. Okay, Providence is giving me a little bit of a hard time here, but that should be good. All right, and we're going to head in our last stage. The last marathon run I did, I got wrecked here. I hope it will not happen. I really hope it will not happen. But just in case, I have like a huge advantage of having such a high estimate. Close range combat does work for the most part. It is not fast at all, though. It's not fast, and if you get too close to an enemy, they will wreck you. The AI in this game is incredibly good when you are in close range combat. They will counter you, they will evade your attacks, especially on hardest difficulty. I don't play easy anymore because easy is really boring. But they are incredibly good at timing shots right, and at countering attacks. They're like a little bit of like counter attacks in this game. So when you press up and down on the D-pad, you will block. If you get a block successfully off, you have like a 0.5 seconds to charge and counter attack. It's a really close call if you want to do that. And then you can get like 3 or 4 hits off, and they will do that a lot in melee combat. That's why I'm like always at range, always just firing shots. Don't waste my time with charge shots. And yeah, so if you like really want to experience the game for itself, I would suggest play it just casually. It's way better. For a speed game, it's really not that interesting. It's basically, I would say it's 60% movement, and the other things is, oh, time, by the way. The other 40% is basically fucking hammering buttons to switch targets and firing out shots. It's really rare that I use anything else. Alright, that was it. We got a bonus stage though. I'll do that real quick. I don't know. This time I'm all by myself. I'll probably get wrecked. 16:43. That's pretty good. I don't know what in-game time it was. I have to add it up, but that's a pretty good run. But normally, like, these stages do not count into into arcade mode. It's just like if you got more than 5 of these seed badges, you can encounter in this mono stage. It's pretty boring. It's just you by yourself. Also, I like Route A is probably fastest because it has the zero amount of RNG. Route H has, for example, like I think 4 Destroy Gundams in a row that you have to fight, and like you have to fight one and then 3 appear, and it's fucking horrible. So yeah, that was it. I guess I don't really want to do this stage anymore. It's not even required. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and thank you guys for staying here for the Gundam plug. So yeah, I would say off to the next run and enjoy your day, guys.